U.S. President Donald Trump has tapped Federal Reserve Governor Jerome Powell to head the U.S. Central Bank, promoting a soft-spoken centrist to replace Janet Yellen when her term expires in February 2018. Mr. Powell, appointed to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors in 2012 by then-President Barack Obama, emerged as Mr. Trump's choice from a five-person slate of possible nominees that included Ms. Yellen as well as others who would have represented a sharp change in monetary policy. In an announcement at the White House on Thursday, Mr. Trump called Mr. Powell a strong, committed and smart leader. He has proved to be a consensus builder for the sound monetary and financial policy that he believes in. Based on his record, I am confident that Jay has the wisdom and leadership to guide our economy, Mr. Trump said as the Federal Reserve nominee looked on. The decision offers a bit of both worlds, allowing Mr. Trump to select a new Fed chief while getting continuity with a Yellen-run central bank that has kept the economy and markets on an even keel. Today, it was my pleasure and great honor to announce my nomination of Jerome Powell to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve. Pic.twitter.com 6@3ZWS, Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump November 2, 2017. Mr. Powell, a 64-year-old lawyer and former investment banker, has backed Ms. Yellen's general direction on monetary policy and, in recent years, shared her concerns that weak inflation justified a continued cautious approach to raising interest rates. In June, he laid out both a defense of the Fed's gradualist path and a critique of those, including some of his competitors for the Fed's top job, who argued that the central bank had increased the risk of high inflation and other problems. Mr. Trump on several occasions has said he would prefer rates to stay low, a position at odds with some of those who were on his short list for the Fed job, particularly Stanford University economist John Taylor and former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh. Top White House economic advisor Gary Cohn was also a contender. Mr. Powell has been a reliable supporter of the consensus forged by Ms. Yellen on the policy-setting Federal Open Market Committee, and likely will be seen as a less risky choice with the economy growing solidly and U.S. stock markets near record highs. The Fed has raised rates twice this year and is widely expected to do so again next month. The FOMC has been patient in raising rates, and that patience has paid dividends, Mr. Powell said in his remarks to the Economic Club of New York in June. After a tumultuous decade, the economy is now close to full employment and price stability. The problems that some commentators predicted have not come to pass. Accommodative policy did not generate high inflation or excessive credit growth, but Mr. Powell has gone further than his colleagues in calling to relax some of the stricter regulations imposed after the 2007–2009 financial crisis and recession, also one of Mr. Trump's goals. Mr. Powell can now pursue that end along with Mr. Trump appointee Randall Quarles, the Fed's new vice chair for supervision, AAAP.